Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. We're doing rankings once again. Tons of changes this week with BOA San Antonio going on. And let's just get straight into it with honorable mention. We got Bridgeland, Wakeland, both back in honorable mentions. Bridgeland, after having a rough season, has come all the way back and squeezed out an honorable mention after making finals at San Antonio, 14th place, both runs. This is just a crazy recovery, and, huge props for getting there. Wakeland, very, very, very close to the highest score to ever miss finals at a BOA comp. I think it's probably the second highest. I haven't done research on that, but it's really close to being the highest ever to miss. So, yeah, but didn't take my record today. I do feel bad. Feel for you guys. Must have been a rough trip back on the bus. I know, probably on the bus, updating your phone, seeing the scores, seeing you missed by that much. Real painful. Brownsburg, Fishers, LD Bell, nothing happened this week, but there's still going to be an honorable mention. Castle, close with Brownsburg. I was corrected that Castle was the one that beat Brownsburg in finals, not the other way around, but Brownsburg, I think, still went 1-1 with them, giving them the benefit of the doubt. Moving on to Vista Murrieta. They won the Utah event. They won the Cali event. They went 4-0 against American Fork, I believe. I think they might have dropped a prelims, but I don't know if they did. And their score is really high this year. I think they would be in finals contention if they had gone to Grand Nats, and so they've earned the spot completely. Moe Gene Johnson. I really don't know what happened. Ever since Texas Martian Classic, the judges just haven't been feeling the show, right? We saw at States miss finals, shockingly. We saw at St. Louis, got 4th place. But I just can't really put them higher at this point, right? 13th. Both runs at San Antonio, missed finals at State. I think it just is what it is at this point. Don't really know, but good season overall. Exceeded expectations for preseason, so good on you guys. Dobyns Bennett in the rankings, just like last week. We're going to see at Grand Nats. I've been prepping Grand Nats predictions. Oh my gosh, it's so stacked. Realistically, Wando, Dripping Springs, Dobyns Bennett are all fighting for 2 spots. And that's not even including Round Rock, Fishers, Castle, Brownsburg, all of these other bands, Lafayette. There's so many great bands that are all competing for a final spot. Jenks as well, but only 2 spots are there, pretty much. Unless William Mason shockingly misses, or Blue Springs shockingly misses, or Bentonville shockingly misses. I mean, we've seen crazier things, but I don't really see any of that happening. So it's pretty much those 3 competing for those 2 spots. My guess is as good as yours to who makes finals there. Moving on. Keller, debut on this list. Never been on this list. Never been on honorable mentions. This is one that I just don't even know what to say, right? Keller goes from looking, I'm just going to say how it is, not very good at BOA Dallas, visually a mess, and then they just clean it up and are amazing now. They missed finals, sneaky good at Texas State, and they look great visually, and I was like, damn, Keller really improved, and then now 8th place and 11th place in 2 runs. I just don't even know how anybody could have seen that coming. But great on them. Good way to push through and save the season, pretty much. Coppell, in on this list again, did not perform at San Antonio, shockingly. Can someone at Coppell tell me why you guys didn't perform, right? You're not at Grand Nats, and why not San Antonio? Just no budget. Fair enough, but sad. Would have liked to see it. I get buses are expensive, but maybe they were afraid of the train. Also have to say it because I haven't explained it. Coppell was off the list last week. Nothing has really happened for Coppell except Keller really succeeded, and they outdid them completely at Dallas. They've split with Wakeland, which is good competition. They've split with Prosper, which is good competition. And we saw them do really well at Texas State, which is a good tiebreaker to compare against bands they haven't competed in one-on-one with BOAs. So it would be wrong of me to not have them above bands that they've gone 2-0 with. And really, again, with Keller, they've gone 4-0 against them because they won twice in BOAs, and then they won twice at State, right? So, or I guess technically once because Keller didn't make finals at State. Anyway, whole lot of yap for me, but that's where I have them. Cedar Ridge, really well at San Antonio. Good season. I mean, they're cooking musically. I think visually they did seem like they could have maybe pushed the boundaries a little bit more. I get they were a little bit small this year, but I would have liked to see more challenging drill, if that makes any sense. Anyway, moving on. Vista Ridge. I don't know what happened, right? So it was looking amazing throughout the entire season. State comps go really well. And then just, I don't know. We see them drop huge, and the rankings are primarily based on scoring, and they didn't score very highly here, at least compared to where I thought they might. And so they're going to drop, and they do. Ninth place, both runs. It's just very odd, right? I don't know how you can go from really high scoring in one comp and then just have completely fall off a cliff. Like, weird, but that's the reality we're living in, and I can't have them above bands that swept them here at San Antonio, so they are going to drop. William Mason here, they're going to probably, I mean, almost certainly be in finals at Grand Nats, and yeah, they're probably in that mid, like, 6 to 10 range at Nats, so we'll see what happens there. Blue Springs in here as well. They're also in that 6 to 10 range. I could see them really jumping because we haven't really seen much from them, and what we have seen was pretty good, so pretty excited for that. People forget, man, Blue Springs almost beat Broken Arrow in prelims of St. Louis. Just got to say it how it is. They are not dead. They're still very, very good. Rouse in here as well. 5th place in prelims. If that stuck, it would be a lot higher. But nope, they dropped to 8th in finals. I don't know what's going to happen. I think I do prefer Cedar Park, which we're going to get to. 11th in prelims is crazy for Cedar Park, but they do end up beating Rouse to split 1-1. And I would be shocked if Cedar Park doesn't win states tonight. We've just seen Cedar Park win too many times. Even win Rouse in their Requiem year. Their show was objectively better. I hate to say it how it is, but they still lost. So maybe Cedar Park is just built for Texas State just to win every single year, and I think they're going to do it again. So we'll see there. Bentonville ends up coming in. They're going to be Grand Nats finalist lock almost certainly, although it's a really stacked year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pull an M&G and just fall off a cliff. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's in the realm of possibilities. Pearland, massive jump, absolutely incredible year for them. 5th at finals in BOA San Antonio. Ridiculous stuff. Totally justified as well. I mean, their show was such a GE farmer, and it only makes sense for them to finish that high. Ronald Reagan and Reagan I know split at San Antonio with Pearland, but I do want to have Reagan a little bit higher based on state scoring, right? Because that is the tiebreaker, and Reagan did sweep there. Didn't really translate the GE scores from state into BOAs, but you can't always expect it to translate 1-to-1. And we kind of saw that this weekend with Vista Ridge, with some other bands like Keller, didn't translate really at all other than some of their visual scores. So good result for them this season, and they're going on to Grand Nats. That'll be a fun one. Woodlands, also in here, 4th place, both runs. Their visuals are just incredible every single year. They're pushing the limits of themselves, and that's kind of why we see them grow so much throughout the season, because the early season runs are so sloppy, because they're pushing themselves to a ridiculous amount. Do not be shocked if they end up pushing for a top 3 spot at Grand Nats. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I think Marcus is better. I think Broken Arrow is competing for that top 3 spot as well, maybe even higher for them. Carmel, Avon, Flomo, they're all in there, so it's going to be really tough for the Woodlands to push through that gap, but I think they probably could. So pretty exciting stuff for Grand Nats. Tarpon in here. Season's over for them, but let's not forget how absolutely cooking they were. And I'm going to try to translate that into the final rankings, although it's going to be kind of tough for not recency bias to stay off the list and just move Tarpon down because we've seen the other bands more recently. But I'm going to try my best for that. Broken Arrow. Apparently, big steps have been made since OBA. Excited to see it. I think Broken Arrow's show really doesn't... I don't know how much room they have to grow, though, because they looked pretty clean at St. Louis, and they looked pretty complete. I know they have some of their closer to add, I believe, from that spot. So we'll see, but I don't know. I don't really see a world where Broken Arrow makes a run for the Eagle, but it could happen. Moving on to the top 5 right now. Carmel in. Really considered having Carmel over Vandy. You know, that would probably be a little bit unfair to Vandy because they did get hit by a train, but sometimes the game's the game, right? But no, I have Vandy above them. I think Vandy was very impressive. I think Carmel can have an impressive performance like they did in 22 and 23, where they're just ridiculously clean. I think they're going to jump pretty high, but there's also a chance where they come out and look like they did last year. And I hate to say it, so I'm not going to say it. Okay, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Vandy in here at number 4. Third place, BOA San Antonio. This is probably my favorite show of the year. Can't lie. Really awesome show. Not as clean as some of the bands ahead, and probably will not be as clean as Carmel is going to be. But it's still just an amazingly designed show. Really cool, and it's definitely in my wheelhouse for sure. Avon, defending champs, back-to-back. Feels wild to have them at number 3, but that's the world we're living in. You score a 97 at San Antonio, you're going to be ahead right now. And then we'll see what happens at Grand Nats. Hebron in at number 2. Got swept by Flomo early season, lost to Flomo and prelims, can't have them above Flomo, so they are going to be behind, even though they tied. It's a great show, really technical. Some people seem to think that it's not a good show. Weirdos. It's an awesome show. I get that maybe you might prefer Flomo, but let's not, make ourselves dislike one show so we can like another. Let's just like both. Why do we have to compare all the time as you're watching a rankings video where I'm comparing? Anyway, swiftly moving on to Flomo at number 1. This show is going to be number 1. We're going to see what happens at Grand Nats. I would be surprised if this show goes all 3 runs without winning at least once or twice. I could definitely see a world where Avon wins. Not be surprising at all. Same with Carmel. I could see a world where Carmel wins. Would not be surprised at all. But this show is going to win one of the runs. 100% guarantee it now with a staple. This show will win a run. And it's just got to be finals. That's what you got to think. So with that being said, I think Flomo is probably the favorite going in. I think that it's close to a 50-50, close to a 40-40-20, I would actually probably say, between Flomo, Avon, and Carmel. And I'm hyped to see it. And yeah, predictions will be out pretty soon for that. Here's the list. Let me know what you guys think about that. We have some risers. We have some fallers. We have Pearland moving up big. We have Vista Ridge dropping. Cedar Ridge coming in hot. Coppell, Keller, Vista Murrieta are big risers. M&G falling as well. Let me know what you guys think. Grand Nats will be amazing to watch. I'm actually really hyped for that. And it should just be amazing, right? This is the most stacked Grand Nats year I think I've ever seen. At least in competition to 2021 with the most stacked year of all time. Do not be surprised if the highest score to ever miss a Grand Nats is here this week, okay? Because whoever is 13th at Grand Nats is a legitimate top sixer at a week year, right? This year, everyone, including like 5 out, are deserving to make it. We would see, I would say, 6 or 7 bands who are going to miss finals this year would have made it last year. So pretty hype. Should be amazing and excited for it. And that'll be it for me.